Oh, we're in for one. That's how it is. If this is your intro track, my friend, we're in for one. What's up, guys? Garrett here. This video is all about Young Lean's newest album, Starz, but it's also one of two things. It's one, a highlight from a live stream that I did recently, but two, it's also a request from the comment section. So if there's ever an album or a music video or a song that you would like me to react to, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get to it on a future live stream. I promise you that. But there's also some problems with the whole copyright thing with this album. A lot of the songs were blocked, so what I did was attempt to kind of work around that. So if you are seeing this video, just be a heads up, there's not really going to be the content of the album. There's no songs really in this very video, just my reactions, just my takes, just my reviews. So if you haven't heard the new Young Lean album Starz, please take the time to go do so before checking out this video. If not, have a great day, stay safe, and thank you. Alright, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. Let me pull up the actual, let me just break everything. Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds like a way better plan. Let me pull up the actual comment that this is coming by way of. Now, this is important stuff. This is coming by way of Cadillac. Shout out to Cadillac for the recommendation to basically get into this Young Lean Starz album. I haven't heard this thing pretty much at all. I have heard, I guess, some of the lead-up singles via the music videos, and we're going to be listening to this via YouTube, so we are going to have some of the music videos playing simultaneously if they are available. Young Lean, haven't talked about him really since his last project, Poison Ivy, I believe it was his last project. That was the last time I talked about it. Really fucked with that. I just love Young Lean. You really can't say anything negative. It's all positive in the end, because the guy just defines doing what he wants. The guy just defines being so authentic that no one can really waver you into a different pile of music. Everything that he makes is very much from the heart, and that's pretty much what'll always keep me coming back. So again, thank you to Cadillac in the comment section telling me to pull this shit up, because here we are. Let's get into it. This is Young Lean. The album is Starz. First track is My Agenda. Music video for this. Nutty video. The black and white with the crazy like 360 cam on a stick, like all these shots are fucking beautiful. But what is it with Young Lean where he can just authentically come through and just provide us with some of the craziest visuals? And it's always been a staple in his music videos, or in his career. It's just the music videos. The visuals have always been the best way to kind of sell his music to the people, to really give you like a pure full sense of what is going on. Like if there's any questions to be had, they should be answered once you see it all laid out for you. And My Agenda, the beginning to the Starz album, this is some sick shit, man. Ski Mask, My Agenda. Oh, we're in for one. That's how it is. If this is your intro track, my friend, we're in for one. We're in for one. And that's kind of like what you need to do. I feel like if you're ever making an album, is really make your statement. But if you're making a statement like that with a music video like that, let's see what the fuck the rest of the album follows this up with. But just My Agenda, very cool track, visceral, the build-up, his way of just kind of like always surprising the audience. Young Lean, he's always coming through with something different, whether it's in his flows and melody or just like tone of voice. Always something to bring, and especially when there's a music video involved, that's where it gets nutty. That's where it gets insane. But this is some shit, and I'm enjoying it. So let's keep on moving through to Young Lean. The album is Starz. The track is Yayo, track number 2. Wavy.
She told me take the trash and come over here. I said if I die here tonight, I just want you to look over me. At the end of the rainbow, 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 yeah.
Getting real introspective on this album so far. I mean, we're only 2 tracks in, but just the way that he was able to make that yayo like kind of hook, or like whatever that was, that repetitive yayo yayo, that should be kind of corny. That shouldn't work. But Young Lean, man, always has this like trustworthy speaker voice where you're just comfortable, man. You're not worried about much, because nobody can do this in the way that he does. And it all very much just seems like it's being created in a very tight pocket and not being released until it's fully cooked. And that's like such an unorthodox kind of approach to an album nowadays as far as industry standards go. Like, you're not always seeing these albums, see the full potential of what like the art is supposed to be, or quote unquote. Like, you'll never see Young Lean just release something to release something, in my opinion. Like, unless it's like because he's helping the fans or doing it for the fans. But really, for the most part, he goes away, makes his music, waits till he's happy with the project, it seems, and puts it out. And you can really see the polish and just like the creativity again. And really fucking with this so far. Track number 3 is Boylife in Europe, I would assume. And there is a music video for this one. Where their shooting's kind of cool. It's like full on Alice in Wonderland. This song's very beautiful. I'm not too sure of the lyrics so far, but as far as like, I'm not understanding like what he's saying necessarily, but the melody is beautiful, just beautiful. That shot's fucking fire, man. Like, and his haircut's so sick as well. Like, nobody else could pull that off. Nobody. And the troll shirt, man, like, Young Lean, you're one of a kind, dude. Never change. Never. This cast of characters is hilarious. The whole gang's here, man. Whole gang's here. Why you gotta love Young Lean. And that song's beautiful again. The melody's awesome. I fucked with it hard, man. I really did. But there's some times where shit just goes straight over my head, where I'm like, man, I love it. I really do, but I'm not following always. I'm not following. But that music video is interesting. That's almost worth a couple more watches to see exactly what the fuck's going on. That was Boylife in EU. I'm loving this album so far. I like what he's doing in the music. The trajectory of a Young Lean. When you look at like the Unknown Death is like an album that he put out, I believe it was called. or Unknown Memory, actually, is what it's called. When you look at that album and you're looking at this one, Starz, and you look at all the like low-key projects in between, this guy just makes the music that he loves to make, and he's never going to change that. But just the way that he's also like adapted into, you know, not just being considered a cloud rapper or like whatever that term was back in the day, just like this airy, you know, like underwater, just silky beats. He's always just kind of rode that, and that's always been like the sound that people have tagged on to him. But really though, through projects like this, I feel like it's hard to still just say that that's like the one trick pony style that Young Lean is portraying, because he's really just making some beautiful ballads so far, in my opinion. Next up is the music video and song Violence plus Pikachu, track number 4 on Starz, the album. This is Young Lean.
Liquid knives, cheek the birds, live like no tomorrow. I'ma slide, let it ride, gotta change the spot though. I'ma take what you have if I ever go bro. I'm forever in the cloud, you forever go bro. You see the different girls, forget where I'm at though. Suffer, but I know.
I'm pretty sure this guy's had different haircuts in all 3 music videos that we've seen so far, which is very interesting. Which means that like this album's probably been in the making for a while? Question mark. They all were released in 2020.
Head down in the metro, knives to the sky, it's a place of sorrow. On the top of the tower with my bow and arrow. Liquid knives is my fire on the side of the rainbow. Eyes are the eyes from the castle. Where I go, where I look, they often to follow. I see shadows in my dreams, it do me no jungle. All my style goes deeper than they call the borrow. Put the money in motion, I ain't got the morals. Put the money in motion, I put strings to pedal.
This feels like a lot more like the traditional Young Lean, but also advanced in you know, all the years of just building and building on this style and building on his craft. But as a juxtaposition of what I just said, this is like the perfect track to come up next.
Ain't nobody know me, but my name's so known. Everybody run me high, but I stay low. Everybody run me down, check the condo. Everybody run me deep with bigger halos. Hole in my head and my heart so close. Everybody run me fly like a sparrow.
Like he went into that real quiet melodies, you know, giving you a little performance, if you will, and then boom, bringing it right back into that flow that I was kind of calling out as that like iconic Young Lean cloud rap flow, if you will. This is beautiful.
Let's go. $30, I won't Pikachu. Moving slow, my cocaine from Peru. Yellow black bracelet, look like Pikachu.
So I assume this is Pikachu, but this is fucking clean, man. Like the production is so nostalgic of that old original, very just classic Young Lean, but it still feels so fresh and just new, man. Especially when you couple it up with this album. Like, have this being track number 4. I like this placement. I like it. Beautiful, dude. I just want to say, I like both Violence and Pikachu. Pretty equal. Wish Pikachu was longer, though. But smart to couple it up with a song like Violence. Next track. Track number 5, out of my head. No music videos. Oh, so maybe Violence. That's what we're looking at. So track number 4 on the album is Violence, but Pikachu is tagged at the end, and it seems to be just a snippet of the album version of Pikachu. We'll see what's up. this vocal pattern and like this cadence works really, really well for him. There's sometimes in this song so far where I've just been like, it's not my favorite, but I just think he came out fucking swinging with those first 4 tracks. But again, very impressed with just what he's doing again with the singing and stuff. And we saw that on Poison Ivy. It's nothing completely brand new, but what he's doing on this particular project, I think it's coming together very cohesively. Like, this song isn't out of pocket. It's out of my head, that's the name, but it's not out of pocket in reference to the rest of the tracks on this project.
Liz, can we just live in the moment? Baby girl, I know you adore me. I'm wrong for the cost. Get you out of my head, get you out of my head, get you out of my head.
Yeah, I think Out of My Head is just the right amount of beautiful. I think, again, in context of the album, it's very, 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 very cohesive. It works perfectly. But I'm not going to sit here and say that was my favorite one so far. It definitely wasn't. But, you know, if you're in the right sad mood, that might bring a tear or two out of you. Watch out. Next up is Dance in the Dark by Young Lean. I thought that was like a 2-minute song. That's pretty much a 3-minute song. But damn, dude. Damn. Even if that's not necessarily the mood that you're looking for, you can't deny that that's a very, very well put together song. Acid at 7-Eleven, track number 7. Like the last 2 tracks, this one included in Dance in the Dark, track number 6. Very lethargic. Very again, soothing, just easy to listen to. It respects your time, though. Very much so, but again, just the way that he's just making these very fulfilling songs with like very well written hooks. But again, even if they're not well written hooks, and some of them, you know what I mean, or whatever, even the parts that lack, the low points, if you will, all feel very strung together, like meticulously. Like he knows exactly what he's doing when he's sewing this shit together. It's stitched together finely, man. I like this album. I really do. Album's super experimental. What are you gonna expect from a Young Lean project? But the green cover was throwing me off at first, but the more you listen to this thing and just stare directly into it, it's very fitting. And the whole ambiance of this damn project is pretty untouchable so far. Again, lethargic, easy to listen to, soothing, but the melodies and just the way that he's packaging this thing, you can't really touch the professionalism of Young Lean at this stage in his career, honestly. Next up is Starz featuring Ariel Pink, track number 8. That progression right there, the way it built up, was super satisfying. Especially, like, I keep using the word lethargic, but that's, like, meant in the best compliment ever. I mean it. Take your fucking time, but build it up like that and give us a satisfying ending. Yes, sir.
stars, with the stars, yeah.
I think we're kind of seeing Young Lean just come fully into his own. Like, this project feels very special to him. And as an audience member, it's very special to us, I think, by default. It's beautiful. It's very, very authentic. This is like a very, very familiar flow in some cases, but the way he's flaring on it, the way he's making it his own is the beautiful, beautiful contestment that every single Young Lean song by default kind of does. Is, hey, I'm gonna do what you maybe you've heard before, but I'm gonna do it in this very unorthodox way, and I'm gonna take it over and I'll make it feel like it's my own completely. And that's such a hard goddamn thing to do in a saturated world that is the music industry. This is a man from Sweden just staying true to himself, and I fuck with it 1,000 times more than anything fabricated in a fucking record label. The energy is being like omitted the way that he wants it to, and everything feels very regulated. Everything feels very, very, very controlled. This is an atmosphere that Young Lean is playing in, but he's playing in professionally, but he's playing in comfortably, and it's so much fun to just listen to him make such like full sounding music, if that makes sense. Like it really just feels like this is him, and that he's happy to be here, and he's gonna flex in so many different ways that isn't a traditional rap sense. Like, you could take the Young in or out of his name and it doesn't matter. Like, the musician that is Mr. Lean Doer here, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is track number 10, Butterfly Paralyzed. I like the drums. I feel like this album's needed a little bit more drums. I like this. Again, the build-up and percussion and just progression of everything in the tracks. It's professional. Like, he's doing exactly as planned, man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is mapped out perfectly. You know, I can see a lot of people not liking this album. Like, I can definitely see people like jumping into even this stream and being like, "Oh, nah, not tonight," because it is a very specific vibe. It's a very specific tone, and you know, it brings out maybe the emotions that people don't necessarily want to feel at certain points. But this is a very, very impressive album when you look at the rest of Young Lean's discography. A lot of albums have been, in his early days, you know, were very authentic, brought him into the scene. Then you started to see some like mainstream appeal, you know, like features with Travis Scott in his early days. Interesting stuff. Young Lean's just whole career, it's so authentic. It's so like unscathed of anybody really putting him down in the sense of like, this guy's always gonna do what he wants, and you can't really like argue with that. Like, you're just speaking to nobody that really wants to hear you really talk down to Young Lean. Like, nobody really gives a fuck about that if you're a Young Lean fan. So, but I can see people jumping into this and being like, well, where's the diversity? But this particular chord that he is continuously strumming on this particular album is something that I find very cool, especially when you juxtapose it against the rest of his discography. The progression, the star power that I will always tote with this man is ringing louder than ever. And you can see where Poison Ivy, his previous project that I reviewed on this very channel, if you want to go check that out, go ahead. But you can see where that leads into this. You can definitely feel where that the two get connected. I like the flow. I like the cadence, the melody. This like singing rap that he's just continuously doing on this project, I'm really, really enjoying. But a lot of this kind of feels like Lil Peep's Beamer Boy in a sense. But I mean, I think anything with the word boy in it, one word boy, you're just gonna end up having similar rhyme schemes, especially in this kind of cloudy sphere of music. Might be the most bass we've heard on this project, if not like the first couple tracks. But yeah, that's definitely like traditional bass in rap. Like, we've really just heard a lot of just like vocal performance from Young Lean on this project, and again, I like it. I really, really do, especially when you add in things like this. Young Lean is a leader, man. In this sphere of music, you can never not name Mr. Young Lean. I liked Ice Hard too, man. Like, the aggression that he's kind of building up, it seems like a little bit more like the more, again, traditional Young Lean in comparison to the lofty, melodic, compassionate Young Lean that we're seeing in the earlier tracks on this project, with Dog Boy kind of like getting you into that faster tempo, and then just coming into Ice Heart where it's just bang, 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 let's get into it. We're getting some 808s, and we're getting into some sticky situations here on Starz. For sure. Really, really like what he's doing. Just, anytime you get Young Lean on a full 40+ minute project, you're just going to have a great, great time. Next track is Pikachu, which was kind of previewed in the music video for Violence at the very end. It was called Violence plus Pikachu, but this seems to be like a more full, longer version, so let's check it on out. Just as an individual track goes, I think I really, 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 really am partial to this one. Pikachu, man. And that kind of explains why it felt so much like a switch up at the beginning of this project, when you tag it to, this very like introspective intros, when you have these first 4, even when you're in track 8, you're like, damn, I'm halfway through this project and I'm still crying. Like, when you get to that point and you're having the time of your life, and then you get hit in the fucking face with a track like Pikachu tagged on with the music video of Violence. When you hear that at track number 4, it does have this crazy switch up, but then to go back into that same tone of just like infectious melodies, it can feel like a sore thumb just sticking out. So putting it back after like Ice Heart, and especially after Dog Boy, like I've been saying, like, we're getting a lot more bass, we're getting a lot more buildup, we're getting a lot more aggression. It fits a lot more within the project, within context of the album. So yeah, Pikachu. This is the track that I think you would show people if there's one that you're gonna pull from this album. Even though I will say, standout tracks, My Agenda, Violence, fucking Acid at 7-Eleven was a good ass time. But Dog Boy, Ice Heart, I've fucked with a lot of this album, if not the whole goddamn thing. The build up, the showing off of just the different styles, and just kind of showing you like the progression again of where he is in his discography. It all comes together just beautifully meticulously melded together as one. Just wonderful package so far. Starz, Young Lean, fucking with this album. Do not sleep. That was track number 13, Pikachu. Going into track number 14, we are at Low. Young Lean, Starz, the album.
This shit feel like ecstasy into me. Yeah, I'm only 23, but this life telling me vanity is no remedy. I got an enemy. You can see yourself in me. Enemy, never lose myself. I lost many things. Keep working yourself. for you, do anything.
Because those like short breaths of just spoken word, man, that was some beautiful shit.
Vanity, there's no remedy. I get it, enemy. You can see yourself in me, enemy. Never lose myself.
The way it builds up and just drops.
Keep working yourself.
Yes.
You do anything. My dreams are in heaven, and I won't say them. Yeah, I lost a friend, but we will dance with the devil in a flow dress. Solitude in a cuckoo's nest. We villas in the park on the way to the hillside. Backseat of your car, we some moonlight. Backseat of your car.
So like the last 3 tracks have had a whole like hyper. I mean, it hasn't been so fucking hyped. I mean, we've heard Young Lean in a lot more situations or environments where he's just flaunting, just flexing, just to let you know, hey, I can rap better than you, or just make cooler music than you. Like, me and my friends are way cooler than you. Don't ever forget us. Like, you know, don't ever do that. The last 3 tracks have kind of been derivatives of that. But when you look at this track, you're back in that melodic, that lethargic feeling, soothing, easy to listen to music. But again, like the tempo is sped up. Like the album ramps up to this crazy, like, fun. Just, hey, I've said all the sad shit. I've said all the stuff that makes you want to reflect on your life or your situations or your relationships or just your present tense as an individual. But now let's just have some fun. Now let's get those shoulders moving. You know, these are feel good songs that I'm feeling right now, and I like the juxtaposition of that from the beginning to the end. The story that he's telling, the journey that we are on. Young Lean, Starz, beautiful. That was track number 14, Low. Again, I like that song. All these feel very whole. They feel complete. This album just feels like it sat in an incubator and was fresh out the oven when it dropped, man. Like, just perfectly cooked, ready to serve. Bon appetit, if you will. Track number 15, though, Sunset, Sunrise. That is where we are at on Starz, the album. The way he was articulating his thoughts on that one, like, it hit me in this, like, weird trance where I was just staring at this album cover. And again, the color green exemplifies this album perfectly. I don't think anyone could really, like, listen to this album in this format, you know, with their own green lights turned on. And you're just staring directly into Young Lean's face like, yeah, you got me, bro. You got me in a trance. You got me in a happy-ass mood to just ingest your music. Because he does make a really easy-to-listen album. You know, some of the tracks from like track 5 to track 9 kind of blend in some cases, but a lot of them, you know, all tell a very complete story, all within a thematic version. So, like, as far as like looking at an album and looking at the themes that it portrays, this project runs through its themes very, very well, as far as, you know, talking about relationships, talking about like life and death, talking about just like empathy is what I've been getting a lot from this too. Is he's talking about like other people's feelings, but in reference to his own take on them. And I don't know if he's trying to like rectify how to like understand them. And this is, again, just first impressions, how I feel. I like what he's doing on this project. I really, really do. Whether it's the faster songs towards the end, with like, you know, Dog Boy, Ice Heart, Pikachu, or even Hellraiser a little bit earlier on, or you have like the very introspective intros, which is like track number 1 through 4. But like Out of My Head, Dance in the Dark, Acid at Night all bring beautiful melodies. So does Starz, featuring Ariel Pink. But we are at the final track. And that is Put Me in a Spell. Young Lean, Starz, the album. You know, he's not saying much on this album, or not this album. He says a lot on this album. On this particular track, though, the way he's closing it out, he's not he's kind of repeating himself a lot, put me in a spell, but the music around him, the progression, the way it's building up as an outro, I love this. This is a beautiful like end to a story. Like inspirational. Like don't leave this feeling completely all melancholy, guys. Like even if the lessons that you take away are a little hard to swallow, please look forward. Look at the positives. You know, if you look at this album as like a novel or a book, it's not about the individual chapters. I really do think it is about the journey, and I'm very happy that the way I ingested this particular project was from front to end. And anybody who did tune in, thank you very much. This was live streamed live. I guess all live streams are live, so I don't know why I had to say that like that. But, you know, if you are catching this on the clip out or just the edited version of the whole reaction to this very project, thank you very much. Hit subscribe to this very channel. But Young Lean on this project, Starz, he's showing you that the legitimacy that he demands, that he deserves, is being shown to you in the utmost material. This is a 40+ minute project. This is nothing to sneeze at. There's enough for you to digest, to see. Even if you have fallen out from the previous projects of Young Lean, or you're an original fan or a long-time fan, I think everybody will take something from this very project. There's a lot to be said here, and the way that he is going to stay authentic, and the way that he is going to continue to make the music that he particularly wants to make in the ways that he does. I'm here for it. I'm loving it. And, you know, this project in particular, Starz, again, is introspective and as weirdly articulated as it can be at times. The production that just shows you how far that like the cloud rap era can come, or just this guy that just is from Sweden that people forget about and then remember, and you may want to check in on him, and then you're gonna find this project Starz and you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like this is a good project, just to show you that the authenticity and just the professionalism that can come from just any SoundCloud era artist is forever going to be true. And you know, standout tracks for myself personally: My Agenda, Violence, Pikachu, Hellraiser, Dogboy, Iceheart, really. But even all the tracks that kind of sew that thing together, again, this project really should be listened to from front to end. I will stand by that. And again, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Thank you so much for tuning in live if you did, or on the VOD. Really do appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitter at YoGarrett, YoGRRTT, Instagram as well. Now INROTATION on those two platforms as well. Take care of yourselves, and that is all, you beautiful folks.